I'm the Deputy Chief Medical Officer, Clinical Services, and also the Secretary to the Local Organizing Committee for this conference.
I'm Dr. Philip Kago, Deputy Secretary, Ministerial.
I'm Dr. Augustus Coker, the Chair for Transportation Local Organizing Committee.
Good morning, Ibrahim S. Jallo from Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Good morning, I'm Shakul Samara, Admin Officer, Ministry of Information and Communications.
Good morning, my name is Mohamed Osman Kumara. I'm Event Specialist at Saudi Media.
Good morning, I'm Kamara, the event plan.
Good morning, I'm journalist.
Good morning, I'm Mohamed Sa, journalist.
Good morning, Mohamed Sise, journalist for Gamenet newspaper.
Good morning, Fatma Kamara, journalist.
Hawaii, Media and Communications.
Dr. Commission, member of PWC.
Good morning,
Please speak louder.
Good morning, Dr. Mike Kamara, Consultant Gynecologist, PCMH.
Good morning all. Assistant Superintendent of Police, CA Farmer, Staff Officer Operations, Swallow Police.
Good morning, this is Nadia Hira, a member of the Scientific Committee and Welcoming and Hospitality Committee for the West African College of Surgeons.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Ibrahim Kago, the Medical Superintendent for the Hospitals of Wales.
Good morning, Dr. Abdullah Jallo. I'm the Scientific Chair for the Local Organizing Committee.
Good morning, Mr. Kramer, Director, Human Capital Development, Presidential Delivery Team, Office of the President.
Good morning, I'm Emanuela Anderson. I'm the Principal Health and Universal Health Coverage Coordinator, as well as the Gender Focal for Administration.
You also have to introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdul Samba Brahima. I'm the Communication Specialist with Ministry of Health.
So thank you very much. I think, is there anyone left out? No? Oh, yes, just project. Yes, one of our people. Journalists, yes. Yes. Journalist. Transport. Ezekiel.
Cater Unity Broadcasting.
Yes, I think we have all our guys here. Some of these faces we see on a daily basis almost now. Our journalist friends, they're here to cover this meeting. Whatever we are saying here is no secret. We have our challenges that we will discuss. We have updates to give that will be the responsibilities of the individual entities. And for us to have, for the people coming to this meeting for the first time, please give me let's bear with me so that I can explain a bit about the purpose of this meeting and what the West African College of Surgeons is all about. The West African College of Surgeons is the largest body that trains and organizes scientific meetings for surgeons in the sub-region, right? It has been in existence since the 60s, and now it has a membership in most of the West African countries and has trained a lot of surgeons in the West African sub-region. It trains surgeons not only in general surgery, it trains pediatricians, it trains plastic surgeons, obstetricians, gynecologists, pediatric surgeons, neurosurgeons, all specialty in surgery. So it's a very big college and it's the most prestigious college in West Africa. What usually happens is that there is an annual scientific meeting, conference, which is held either in a francophone or an anglophone country. So it's alternating because in West Africa we have both of these languages. So this time around it's supposed to be an anglophone country. And Sierra Leone luckily won the bid to host this conference. It's a prestigious event. That's why we are going to get in Sierra Leone close to 500, 600 surgeons from the West African sub-region and beyond coming to attend this big event. At this event, scientific papers will be presented, doctors will speak their own language, they will talk amongst themselves and see what is new happening in the sub-region, and important themes that are affecting issues like training, affecting the growth of surgery in the sub-region will be discussed. Usually it is the responsibility of the host countries to make sure that these conferences are well held. That's why you see the Ministry of Health taking the leadership in this organization, but you also have a local organizing committee where the surgeons themselves who are working in the hospitals have a committee, and they have the mandate and the responsibility to run and organize this conference with the general supervision and coordination of the Ministry of Health and Sanitation. That's why you see it's a heterogeneous group here today. We have the doctors in the hospitals, we have the doctors at the MOH, then we have the interministerial team, meaning departments and agencies that are relevant for the smooth running of this conference. We have Ministry of Internal Affairs, we have Ministry of Transport, we have Ministry of Information, we have the Office of the President, we have, we are expecting Ministry of Tourism, and I think Ministry of Transport, right? So all of these entities are equally important in ensuring that all our delegates coming into this country are well taken care of. Of course, we have the Sierra Leone Police with us also. They are well taken care of. There's adequate security. There's adequate transportation arrangements. The hotels are booked on time. We give them the necessary foreign protocol that they deserve so that we'll have our country put. So this is the final one because the conference starts on Sunday. The registration starts on Sunday. So we opened up this meeting to the press so that there will be more information to the public that this event is taking place, so that people are aware and participate in it if necessary, those who have the requisite interest or qualifications to participate in this event. So on that note, I hope I've been able to navigate my way around explaining what this conference is about and when it's going to be hosted, and what are some of the responsibilities we have as a ministry and a government of Sierra Leone. I must reiterate the fact that the government of Sierra Leone is in full support of this conference. The president is in full support. He will be the guest of honor of this conference. The Minister of Health, the Vice President, all the top leadership at the Ministry of Health, including the ministers represented here by their representatives, are all in full support and are regularly updated on the activities coming start 3rd to 7th of March. On that note, I think the last time when we met here, Dr. Kabo, we had certain updates and action points that were given to certain entities to look at so that we have a smooth running of this conference. I don't know if you want to start giving us an update as secretary to the ministry.
Good morning all. For my updates, I have prepared through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigration visas for the first set of requests, and yesterday I also sent another set which today we're going to have the visas on arrival, which I will forward to COCA. And we had a meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the interpreter in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs with regards to the interpretation, French, English, English to French. And we have almost concluded that. We had a meeting in the office of Dr. Kaba, and we have got a solution to that. We're going to have the personnel to do the interpretation, and also the equipment will be available. It's going to be part of this meeting. Is on its way, and we will bring the invoice to see that we start the process of giving a part payment so that he can get some of the items needed. So as far as interpretation is concerned, I'm sure we are okay with that. And also a member from the protocol division is also coming so that we can finalize our protocol services to be accorded at the airport. And I just discussed with Dr. Coker that I'm going to write a letter. I think we need to have a set of protocol officers for the opening ceremony and the closing ceremony. That is very key. Even if we have members from the medical sector, but it's good the professionals take the lead in doing that. Of course, I will also be part of that. And we will finalize that, and I will send a letter this afternoon making that request. I'm still having a little bit of problem with the request I should make for the security fee waiver. I've got a list, but I'm yet to have the passport numbers, and I think I cannot proceed if I don't have the passport numbers according to the advice from my colleague from Internal Affairs. I think you're on the right track. So I'm just urging all of those concerned to please make the numbers, the passport copies available to me so that I can work on the request by the close of the day. That would be fine. I think for now that's what I have as updates. If there is any other thing, I will let you know as we progresses. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think the major good news here is that the translation devices will be taken care of. We have translators now, and the Ministry of Health will take responsibility for paying for those services. They will be here today. The translation devices and the translators will be installed. These are our colleague from Ministry of Foreign Affairs with the translation support. I mean, they do this on a daily basis, so I think they have enough translation devices and headsets to cover 250 people, right? Am I correct? I'm putting you on the spot. Correct. All right. So that one is settled for French and English. Beyond that, I think we can find another means. If there are people who speak Portuguese, we'll find another way of interpreting to them. But I think for this conference, we'll stick to French and English. The other issues about the pastors, I think Dr. Coker, you want to respond to that, or you?
Yes. As per the request from the Minister of Internal Affairs, we forwarded the request to the chairperson, Professor Tibi Kamara, and he also thought that it's best to send it to the headquarters for the Secretary General to inform all executives and council members to forward copies of their passports, which is quite personal, plus the tickets. That hasn't been done as yet. The Secretary General of Works hasn't received all of them as yet. And I just informed the Minister of Internal Affairs about that.
Okay, I think we need to do that fast, because one thing I failed to inform the public about is that we have a pre-conference activity, which is a surgical outreach, meaning there are surgeons who are already in this country performing free surgeries on our compatriot Sierra Leoneans. The sites that we are choosing for this activity are Makeni, Kono, and Kenema. They will be able to see at least close to 150, 200 patients, and these are highly specialized surgeries that will be done to different parts of the body, starting from the eye, the abdomen, plastic surgeons, urologists, neurosurgeons at Choitram, also in Freetown is also, we have colleagues there who are doing neurosurgery. So this is a pre-conference activity. These surgeries are already going on, free of cost, right? Why it came to my mind is that because when they came over this weekend, we had some issues around the arrangements at the airport. So I want us to really make sure that we have proper arrangements made for every delegate coming in. We have our people in the airport. We have the requisite names and list of those delegates we think are high priority delegates, so that they are given the necessary protocol they deserve. So I think Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you're here. You want to make a comment on this, and Internal Affairs? It's under transport, right? Transport and aviation, the airport.
The airport, yes, it's under transport and aviation.
So I think foreign protocol falls under Foreign Affairs.
Yes.
You want to make a comment on that? Yes. All right.
Good morning. Yes, so normally what we do at the airport, we have physical services there, and there are vehicles. They are assigned 3 vehicles to the airport. So all we need to know is the power of the delegation, that is who are the VIPs, because as per the memo we receive, we'll be expecting close to 100 or so. So we just want to know the VIPs and also their flight itinerary, so that we know when they'll be arriving and all of that. So when we get those lists, we will compile them and ensure the moment they arrive, they have protocol services from the airports. The vehicles will be there to transport them to the sea coach, say Pelican or so. Then from there, we should be having vehicles on this side. And protocol services will be on alert. So when they leave the airport for the sea coach, the protocol team on this side will go to Pelican or sea coach and be ready. So when they're on this side, we pick them up and take them to their hotels or so. So all we need to know is how many of the VIPs are we expecting and their flight itineraries. From there, we'll give you feedback as to how many protocol officers we can afford to attach to them.
So that's a very good news and arrangement. We also have a team committee that we work with from the local organizing committee. We have a group of volunteers, medical students, and doctors who will be working with you so that we receive these guests adequately at the airport. Dr. Poker, you are in charge of that. Hospitality was Dr. Cummins John, you are also with Dr. Jerry.
Both mixed gender, male and female, and they'll be going to Lunge Saturday, Sunday, and Monday to receive guests. So we'll liaise with them to see how best we can coordinate, and as well as Dr. Coca. So we'll get to Lucy coach and get the guests in town.
So what is our responsibility as a ministry or as local organizing committee to foreign affairs, because there should be some logistics arrangements, right?
Yes. So as a ministry, as a ministry, all we will request from you is one, like I earlier said, the flight itinerary, the VIPs that we'll be expecting, and as well we want. It is as per the VIPs will be expecting that we'll say, okay, let's have this amount of fleets, because normally what we do, every VIP or their experts should have one vehicle. So in an event we have say 10 or 20 VIPs, then we should have as about that number of vehicles. So we are expecting vehicles from your side, or we can make arrangements with the Mr. Coca or the lead to hire vehicles. Then as well, the ministry should provide a fuel for the vehicles we are already having at the airport. Given that they are already assigned staffs that will be going there on Friday or Saturday, they will see the vehicle, access it, then we'll bill you to know how many amount of liters we are expecting to put in the vehicles at the airport. So we only need vehicles on this side, then fuel for the vehicles on that side. As with the arrangement for the protocol services, we'll talk with the team we'll be working with.
Will you also provide me some vehicles on this side?
If you so wish,
Yeah,
you have to write to DG requesting for vehicles. We do have some vehicles, some Mercedes-Benz, but we don't know if they are on use now because there is a transport officer responsible for that. But if you write now, then I will do a follow-up and get back to you on that.
Yes, thank you very much, my colleague. I wrote to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs requesting for VIP vehicles, protocol service, escort rider. And I think I gave a copy yesterday to Mr. Fuller to be given to your director, Mr. Saspo. So if you can contact him, then you will know exactly our request. Because from what we have, I think it's 3 VIP vehicles, something like that. And also a bus, that big bus, we need it. But just contact Saspo, he will give you the details. And if you want further engagement, we can go to the transport fellow in your ministry so that we finalize the arrangement, because I'm sure we need to have fuel and other logistics. So please take it up with your director, and if you can give me a call, say latest by the end of the day, we can have a short meeting with him. Then we finalize with the transport officer so that we can get everything sorted out before the end of the day.
Okay, you want to add on this?
I was the bearer of those 2 letters you are talking about. I submitted one to Director of Protocol, Mr. Sako himself, and the one for DG has also been submitted to the Right Department, which is communication for onward transmission to the Director General this morning. So Lansford will follow up with the Director. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. On the foreign protocol, the vehicles, are there any questions, comments regarding that from the LOC? My colleagues, any things you need to clarify? Yes, Dr. John.
Thank you very much for Foreign Affairs. Dr. Coker, I think we've agreed as an LOC, the individuals who have identified as VIP to receive those protocol services. I think the challenge is getting their flight itinerary and their biodata passport page, right? I don't know, maybe as an LOC through Dr. Kaba and the chair, we can find a way to express the urgency of that, because it's needed for us to be able to complete the arrangements on our side. I think we should make that a priority, because today is Wednesday.
Okay, very good comment. So thank you very much. I think we've exhausted this issue thoroughly. We now move on to another area which has to do with the finances. It is important for such a conference for us to know how we stand and where we are going. The government of Sierra Leone has given its commitment to support, and there are so many things that have happened the past few days, and we are close to the point of receiving the good news. But I will not. I will allow Madam Manuela to give us an update as to what has transpired the last few days in terms of following up on the request.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas. So the debt form, of course, from the ministry was sent to the Ministry of Finance. We follow up with the FS. It's signed, sent to the budget office, then to the administrative office. So it's been approved. It's sent to the ministry for some order and documentation. Then we'll have our fundings very soon. I will be called by 2 o'clock today for any further good news. So that's where we are. In terms of funding as well, we had our partners from the UN agencies and also GIZ. So we have the World Health Organization, the UNICEF, UNFPA, who've been agreed to sponsor us. So those are all in process, and we look forward to getting the support we need for a successful conference. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yes, you want to add, Dr. Cabo?
Thank you. I was just wondering in what capacity the hospitals on wheels will be needed.
Yes, we'll come to that. Let's talk about the finances. It's very good. We have detailed highlights, update in terms of what entails. This is a huge conference. It has a huge budget, but what we are receiving as information is that the government and its health development partners have come together and are fully supporting this activity. Of course, the conference itself generates some funds, but whatever funds is generating is so minimal. The cost for the activities are so low. The event planner will even laugh at us at some of the things where the charges that we are placing for people to hire booths, to host a session. You know, it's so minimal, but this is how this conference is designed, so that everybody can participate. It's not about making money. So there will be minimal revenue generation through the conference, but it is so minimal that it cannot run the conference without the support of government and its health development partners. But we've received good resonance from the key health development partners that Madam Anderson has mentioned to support this activity. Just that time is against us. We need to have this. We need to have it in the account this week for the weekend so that the conference will be successful. Thank you very much. Any comments on the fundraising or the funds aspect? Okay. Now let's move on to, I will ask the local organizing committee to give us an update, especially in terms of the program. Dr. Jallo is the head of the scientific committee, to tell this house how this program will look like. I mean, how many days, which activities are in it, and when are the invitations going to go out. Maybe the hospitality committee will join you, and the days that are really important for us to have stakeholders join us in our meeting. Dr. Jallo.
Yes, the conference itself, will run between the 3rd and the 7th of March. But there, as Dr. Kabarati said, there are pre-conference activities that have already started. And one of those activities is the surgical outreach program, wherein we have specialists all over the world performing highly specialized surgeries to fellow Sierra Leoneans free of cost. And this is being done across the country. We have centers in Kenema, Makeni, Kono. In Freetown, at Churchrams, they are performing neurosurgical procedures. These are highly complex procedures, and they are being done free of charge. Another important activity before the main conference is we have a pre-conference laparoscopic course. You know, we have what we call laparoscopic surgeries, wherein surgeries are performed without opening the human being, keyhole surgeries. So we don't do that training in Sierra Leone. So we have experts who are coming from West African countries, from the US, from Europe. They are coming to run a 2-day course for our young doctors to stimulate their interest. So who knows how many laparoscopic surgeons this country will have because of the interest that these young folks will develop, and they may decide to pursue that career pathway. So that pre-laparoscopic course is going to be held at the Freetown International Conference Center. It will be held on Saturday and Sunday. So that's the second and the third. There's a cost attached to it, but it's very, very minimal, very basic. You know, the organizers are doing the heavy lifting. They are actually sponsoring it heavily. During the conference itself, Sunday will be the registration day, wherein people who were not able to register online, who were late, they will go to the Freetown International Conference Center and register there physically. And they will get their conference materials, their bags, their program, the flash drive containing all the sessions in the program. And it's an annual general meeting and scientific conference. So all the faculties that are made up of the college would be meeting as a faculty: surgery, anesthesia, obstetrics and gynecology, radiology. They have faculty issues, you know, to trash. So they will have faculty meetings, they will elect their executives, do all those sorts of things during this meeting. And it's also a scientific conference. So people will present scientific papers, you know, researches that they've done, innovations in the aspect of surgery. And it's good to know that during this program, majority of the scientific presentations, about 60 to 70%, will be delivered by Sierra Leoneans that have done researches. They are going to display, showcase their findings to the world. And we have so many Sierra Leoneans also who will be chairing scientific sessions. So this conference, it's really branding what we have in Sierra Leone. And on Thursday, that's the 7th of March, will be the closing ceremony. So the opening ceremony on Monday and the closing ceremony on Thursday are actually the highlights of the conference. And those who have undergone the training, those who have been trained by the West African College of Surgeons, the graduates, on Thursday, they will also graduate, they will receive their certificate. So that's also one of the key highlights of the program. And so many other things that I cannot all discuss here now. But it's a rich program. We encourage Sierra Leoneans to patronize it. The government has given it its full support. Let all of us, in one way or the other, in each way we can, try and promote so that we have a successful conference. Thank you very much.
Well said. I think even if you don't understand, you understand now what all of this is about, right? So thank you very much, Dr. Jallo, for that brilliant explanation of the entire process, how it will look like. And I'm sure most of the people here are now eager maybe to join, maybe even if it's the opening ceremony, and come and see how it's going to look like. You're all invited. All our ministries and departments and friends seated here, I think, feel free to come, especially on the days he has mentioned. No, you get your invitations. Yeah, but don't think it's a highly scientific meeting, so there's nothing in it for me. It's good to come and see what's been discussed. Most of it is about national issues, and it goes beyond just the main scientific topic. So it's good. Those who have time to come and join and participate in that meeting. Thank you very much, Dr. Jallo. I think we'll allow Dr. Coker from the Transport Committee to give us updates as to where we are with the organizing of this conference.
I thank you all again for coming. As for transportation, we are expecting, as indicated earlier, that VIPs and other delegates coming. We are expecting 500 to 600 highly skilled surgeons from all over the world to converge on Sierra Leone. So we have to expedite their experience from the airport to the hotels. The accommodation chairperson is not here, but we've already secured more than 400 hotel rooms for them. We're still targeting the 600 mark. But as per transportation, as soon as they get on the Lungi terminal, they will be taken across by sea coach for those that could weather the seafare. But we do have some delegates who are wary of the sea route. And for those, we're going to have buses stationed at the airport that will take them by land across to the airport. It's going to be over an hour drive, but most of them who want to volunteer that say it's worth it than going by sea. But we wouldn't announce that because we do not want people to flock on that, because it's going to be, they will exhaust the facility. So we want people to use the sea routes, which will be quicker for them to get to Aberdeen and get to their hotels and prepare for the conference. Once they get to Aberdeen, there will be buses also stationed there to take them straight to their hotels, and we'll have ushers at the hotels, so the booking and reservations would all be expedited for each person that has been booked. Within the conference itself, we're going to also have buses that would actually circle around the Aberdeen route. So whichever hotel you are, so long as it's within the Aberdeen environment, you would have ease of getting access to your hotel. And again, at the end of the conference, we intend doing the same, get them to the Aberdeen route and then across the sea and to their flight, so that the experience in Sierra Leone will be a lovely and memorable one. And for those that will be accompanying them, maybe you have a specific interest in a particular paper or a particular topic, and that topic has already been exhausted. We've already linked up with the tourism industry so that they could have an experience of Sierra Leone. Go to the beach, go to the Takaguma zoo place, and just enjoy Sierra Leone, so that it leaves a lasting and memorable memory in their minds that they visited Sierra Leone and the conference was a wow. Let's just wow them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think for our colleagues present, we now have an update as to how the transportation issue is going to be organized. Buses provided for the delegates, and possibilities for them to also go to tourist sites are all being arranged through the Ministry of Tourism. I think the issue of the mobile clinic can also be discussed here, because it's like a bus moving on wheels, a hospital moving on wheels. We decided to bring in the hospital's wheels program to this, because we don't know if at the site there might be people with emergencies, medical emergencies. So we should have a way of reacting immediately on site. And luckily we have a very good initiative within the ministry, being led by Dr. Yebo Kabo, which is the hospital on wheels, mobile clinics, that has equipment on board and is staffed with requisite manpower to address emergencies on board these buses. So attached to these buses, there will also be maybe 1 or 2 ambulances. But Dr. Yebo Kabo, you're welcome. You're part of this group. We need your services starting from the 3rd to the 7th to be located at Freetown International Conference Center. I think we can talk about the details later after this meeting as to how we're going to organize that. But your services and your team are needed right throughout this conference. Do you have comments or reactions to this?
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Baba. So would we need 2 buses or 1 bus? Or 4 buses?
For me, I think 1 bus and 2 ambulances will suffice. Then we can easily ask for another one if we see that the numbers are increasing. We'll have 1 on standby, but 1 will be actively involved in the activities at least let's activate 1 at the site. Then we'll have 2 normal routine ambulances from next. That will suffice.
Okay, so I just want to add that some of the capabilities in this bus is a fully automated biochemistry machine capable of assessing liver function, kidney function, electrolytes. We have a fully automated hematology machine to do full blood counts, we do urine analysis, we even do ECG, so we'll be able to detect if somebody is having a heart attack and address accordingly while working with our consultants as well.
Thank you very much. Any comments on transportation? Yes, foreign affairs.
Thank you, Dr. Koga. Yes, with regards to transportation, our questions remain. One, we still wish to know how many VIPs we'll be expecting, especially given that it is this huge amount of number, 500 to 600, there must be some VIPs. And also, most often at time, our VIPs are lodged at Atlantic.
But that remains with you. For reason of security, most often at time we lodge them at Atlantic. So it is left with you to decide where your VIPs will be lodged. But just so you know, if for any reason the people from Ministry of Internal Affairs are here, they will say something on that. For reason of security, most time they lodge their VIPs at Atlantic. So you have to tell us where the VIPs will be lodged and also which hotels have been booked, so we know how to spread out our risk offices.
Yes, Dr. Koka, you want to amend? Let's. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I think that's a valid point. We need to work that out. Let's have the VIPs, a list of them. Let's know the hotels we'll be taking them to. And that information should be made available to all the protocol officers. Because immediately they receive any set of VIPs, they know exactly the hotel will take them. And we also have to number the vehicles. Let's say if Hotel A, these are the people for Hotel A, and we number C1 or A, and we have to inform all of them that vehicle A is for those people at a particular hotel, and vehicle B is so on and so forth. So let's sorry, let's really have time, so that we can work that out and map that roadmap so that we can proceed. In order for us not to have a scenario wherein people will start to scramble which vehicle I should get into, so on and so forth. So let's work that out, Dr. Koka. I will assist you on that.
Yes. So the issue of Atlantic Hotel, Lonely Hotel, has been raised for security reasons. But we have the West African College of Surgeons team. They were here, and they have their own internal preferences. So they looked around all the hotels that we suggested, and I think most of them settled for Bintumani Hotel, which is very close to the conference center, we understand. And I think what we need to do now is to surround that hotel with the requisite security arrangements for them to be well secured. But actually, Bintumani Hotel is also a secure place. I don't know what the people from Ministry of Internal Affairs will have to advise on that.
Sir, I guess I made the same request last week. The same answer you just gave. You gave the same. That it is good for them to be in one place. Remember I spoke about the security. And few of the doctors were saying no need to bring an elaborate security and other things. So I advise that let it be at one. The closed door stuff. It is good because we don't want to put necessary pressure on the police. By doing that, you need to provide escorts and other things. So I advise that they stay at Bintumani. Since the entire program is going to take place at Bintumani, I think it will ease their own stress. Yes. After a long flight stuff, I suggest they stay there.
Thank you.
So when we actually provided emergency services for the Commonwealth Parliament Association, and in that we had so many emergencies, like overnight, all sort of health emergencies happening while the guests were in their hotels, and that led us, like 7 of them having to be admitted at ICU in Churchman. So I'm suggesting that we have an ambulance and a doctor and a nurse on call somewhere in case of an emergency. We'll be able to address, stabilize, and then refer. Another thing that we did also was that prior to the beginning of the conference, we went and talked to Churchwam, who held 2 beds, ICU beds for us. We also have like beds at Annex, Connaught, and yeah, just in case, and all of those were utilized.
Yes. Yes, that's the last. This is in place. We definitely have to have a hotline for all the people coming. We should furnish them with telephone numbers as to whom to call in the case of an emergency. Of course, the top delegates will be surrounded by us most of the time, but there are other people who are coming here who might not be the top delegates, but they're in Freetown and they're still our guests. So we have to furnish each and every member. I think the web developer is here, Israel. We should have that information on the website as to whom to call when you have an emergency, and we will put in place the necessary measures, having hospitals reserve beds, having people at the requisite places to handle those emergencies, including the mobile clinics. I think it's going to be a holistic package in terms of emergency management, which I believe the hospitality committee, Dr. Cummins John always tells me when I